What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, the end of rounds 2 through 7 for the LA Chargers, and you know, a couple of picks I've liked. I love the Rashawn Slater first round pick, obviously, but going into some of these picks, I'm definitely gonna do a video as far as who the Chargers could have drafted at different times, who I thought were more valuable at the same position. So I'll choose all the same position type of players that they did go with, but I'm gonna choose my better guys at different rounds, most likely when they were available before they were taken after the Chargers. So we'll just go through them real quick. Of course, with their second round pick, they went with Asante Samuel Jr., one of the more talented, highly sought after corners out there in the draft. I was surprised he even stood right there available for the Chargers. I thought he was going to get picked up sooner, or they might have to trade up, but luckily they didn't have to, so it was a good value pick. Could have been a late first rounder, but definitely glad he was able to, you know, get down there to us, and was teammates with Derwin James at one point, who was pushing the Chargers to get him. So hopefully once they're both healthy and on the same defense together, it'll be pretty awesome. Then in round 3, the Chargers had 2 picks. They went with a wide receiver in Josh Palmer, who I may have heard once before in this whole pre-draft stuff. Didn't really think of him as a guy I would want if they were going for the wide receiver position. And I read something too that said like strengths and weaknesses. They said his strength is to get over the top on a defender and be able to catch a ball, basically, kind of like that. But technically saying he has enough speed to get by good defenders and stuff. But one of his main weaknesses, also from the same person, said that he has trouble separating from most defenders, which is basically contradicting the strength that they put up there, which I don't understand. He even seemed surprised when he was picked in his post-conference interview he had. He didn't really know what to say. I don't know, just another guy that the Chargers fell in love with in the process. And I think what they really fell in love with was the fact that he went like 14, he caught 14 passes out of 14 attempts in the best conference in the SEC against the top talent cornerbacks in that conference this last year, or maybe over his career. But I don't know, it's only 14 catches. It's not like it's a number in the 40s or 50s, how some other guys do. So I don't know if they fell in love with that, whatever. Maybe he has some speed I don't know about, but this is definitely one of the more questionable picks. Even some guys that were available now at the wide receiver position I would have taken other than him, who weren't drafted. But just the way it goes, as you can tell, I'm more perplexed about this pick. And then they went with a tight end in Trey McKitty out of Georgia, who isn't a bad pick. He is more of a developmental type of guy, because for some reason he was a very highly talented guy coming out of high school. He first went to Florida State, didn't work out well down there, but then went over to Georgia. And once again, his catch numbers weren't really as great for the type of athletic type of tight end he is, but he is pretty good in run blocking. So I think that's more of why they got him. They think they could teach him how to receive, especially with a guy like Jared Cook there, who's most likely going to be the starter. It was kind of a reach, in my opinion. Probably could have got the better tight end in the 3rd round, but yeah, we'll talk about that. Then round 4, they went with Chris Rumph, a defensive end slash linebacker out of Duke. That's a name I've seen pre-draft as well. I kind of thought he was a bit slow for the linebacker position, because he is kind of stand-up. He doesn't play middle or inside linebacker. He's just a stand-up outside linebacker slash defensive end, and causes havoc out there or inside. And it's good, but he's not as quick as I think, and probably gonna have to teach him a lot more stuff. Definitely more of a developmental pick, but he sounds like a smart dude. He obviously has to be if you're going to Duke. But yeah, kind of questionable pick here, but I don't mind it as much as the other picks. And then round 5, they went with an offensive guard or tackle. I think he could play both positions, in Brendan James or James out of Nebraska. He was a guy who I've always saw like on big boards of who's the best available players, especially since after day one, he was one of the top guys out there, but for some reason, nobody was picking him, and he went all the way to round 5. So I don't know if there's injury history or something else, character issues, but it's the main reason why these guys fall, and I guess we'll see, but they think they have value in the round 5 pick. And then round 6, they had 2 picks. They went with the linebacker, Nick Niemann. I believe he was out of Iowa. They've had some good linebackers past couple years. Josie Jewell, who I wanted, but of course he went to Denver Broncos and he's a starter now. But I didn't really hear much about this guy. I have to go back and look at his highlights. Pretty sure Chargers YouTube will put that up, but hopefully he's good. I know past they've had some good linebackers, like I said. Hoping for the best. And then the later round 6 pick, it was a running back out of Missouri named Larry Roundtree III. Kind of more know him just because I had to use him a couple of times in college football, fantasy football. It was a name that popped up a lot. He was pretty productive, so I know how good he can be, and he did it against some of the better competition, excuse me, in college in the SEC. But they did say he's a better pass blocker. Needs to, I think what a lot of these guys are that got picked later are gonna more help the special teams, which is kind of crazy because you kind of want a guy who could be a starter or the second backup to any position and help out on special teams. But Chargers kind of only get guys who do like a one-trick kind of deal, so I don't know what they're thinking about, but I guess they know better because they're the ones getting paid for it. And then they finished off with Mark Webb, listed as a DB because he was a safety at Georgia, but I think he's gonna maybe be used at cornerback as well. Definitely a special teams type of guy. He should be a lot faster if he's playing the safety position, but he isn't. But once again, playing in the tougher conference, the SEC, a lot of his teammates were selected ahead of him. But looking at the highlights when he was drafted, he does look pretty solid. Could be a practice squad guy, definitely a special teams player, maybe future backup. And he's been friends with both Derwin James and Nasir Adderley as well, guys at his position who are already on the Chargers, so that's kind of a good thing to have. But like I said, I had to go back and do my own version of this draft with the same type of position, but who I think are better players within this week sometime. Not 100% sure when that'll be up, but thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.